what happened.
Yeah. No, that's
like
true.
throwing money at Tim Hardaway.
You want
Otto Porter?
No, you don't got to remind me of that, Mark. Thank you. You don't have to remind. I forgot about it. You didn't have to remind me. But let the Warriors go undefeated in the Western Conference now in the playoffs. They have my respect. Then they have. If you're let's just be realistic and say the Warriors going to be the number 1 seed, right? And think about who the Warriors now would have to play in order to get to the finals. Say they do run into an OKC team now, which is a starting lineup would be Westbrook, Robertson, Paul George. They signed. They still have Steven Adams, and they signed Patterson that been playing on Toronto.
Patrick
Patterson. Okay, so just imagine going through that. Now say that's their first round, even though I don't think OKC would be the A seed, right? But let's just say they would have to get through them. Well, make them the second round. Put them first, maybe against the Wolves or somebody like that. Even though the Wolves shouldn't even be that low. So imagine they beat this Wolves team that's a star team. Your starting lineup is Jeff Teague, Jimmy Butler, Andrew Wiggins, Todd Gibson, Karl Anthony Towns, and you still have the best probably 6th man to ever play in Jamal Crawford coming off the bench now.
And that guy Derrick Rose.
Yo, I just realized. I know the West got better, but I'm putting two and two together.
And I didn't even mention the Rockets yet. Well,
the Rockets might not be done.
Exactly, and they still might not be done.
No, Rockets, if they get Melo, I don't care what I say. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
All right, but even so.
I don't think it's going to work.
Okay,
either.
fair enough.
It's not going to work.
It's fair enough. If it doesn't work with Melo and the Rockets, say if he does go there, we know it's all Melo then. Come on.
No, because
no, that's
you
not
can't
true.
have 3 people who do the same thing. Like, I was listening to Undisputed yesterday. Shannon Sharp said it best. He says, I like ice cream, I like cake, and I like gravy. You can't have those all 3 together at once.
That's true, and I'm guessing Melo's gravy. I'm guessing Melo's the gravy.
Hey,
but that's true. But my point is, imagine this Warriors team getting through the Western Conference now, with this how the West look now. Mm-hmm. Then, and if Kevin Durant leads them through this, then I'm just like, okay, because the way I see it now, the Cavs, despite if they get any major free agents or whatever, which they probably not, should have the advantage going into the finals when they, let's be honest, when they do face the Warriors again. Or if they face the Warriors again. Because if you're telling me that this Warriors team has to go through this Western Conference now, the Cleveland should, because they won't be having a crazy bye or nothing like that. They will probably be playing sooner. Cleveland has the advantage because, Cleveland could sweep the Eastern Conference. No. I take that back. Not with Boston no more. I'm sorry.
First 2 rounds.
The first 2 rounds. I'm sorry. I almost disrespected you, KJ. He definitely, the first 2 rounds, yes. But once they get against you, I see that being a game 6. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay. But so we at least going to win 2 games.
Yeah. With Cleveland finishing off, I'm definitely give that to you. But Cleveland definitely has the advantage in that Warriors matchup. The West now is crazy.
That's why I don't get why LeBron next season would leave to go to the West.
But this is what you got to think about, right? First of all these guys who left would be upset, right? If LeBron comes, they're gonna be like, "This is the reason why we left." You know what I mean? But what you got to think about is this: if LeBron gets through the West, LeBron's getting a championship.
But if he goes to the West, who's
if LeBron goes to the West and he gets out the Western Conference in 2 years. He's getting a championship.
If he goes to the West, who would he play for in the West?
Most likely, everybody's saying the Clippers, but I doubt it would be the Clippers.
I think it would be San Antonio.
Huh?
I think it would be San Antonio.
With Kawhi Leonard?
Yeah. Let's be honest. LeBron, first of all, San Antonio wants Aldridge out of there, right?
That's true.
LeBron can play with anybody. This is
Carmelo's
my
the
favorite player.
4, and Kawhi's playing the 3.
Yeah, that's for all that.
Get Danny Green out of there.
And it doesn't even matter if you try to pick and roll against Kawhi. First of all, let's just imagine how great defensive they'll be.
Yeah, that would be great.
All right, and then what is the mismatch? Green, even though his offense is suspect, Green is a decent defender.
A great defender.
Kawhi Leonard is a great defender. LeBron, you can't do pick and rolls and try to mismatch this team. How would you do that? If LeBron leaves, he's going to a great team. He's going to go to a team that's established, a good team. And if he does get out the West, he's going to win. But this is why I'm telling everybody, right now, and that's why I've been saying this unless I see something crazy happen, like Chris Paul and D. Wade and Melo all come joining up with him in next year or something.
I think they might all go to Houston.
I think so. You know what I mean? Unless something crazy like that happen, and I've been saying this, it's a bold statement, but LeBron is not winning another championship. if that don't happen.
If Melo goes to Houston, is he going to play well for D'Antoni?
Yes. That's what everybody got to realize. Melo and D'Antoni, Melo at no point in his career, even though Melo was great, let's not forget Nuggets Melo. Melo at no point in his career.
They paused the trade talks between the Knicks and the Rockets and Cavs.
Oh,
They paused the
They went
Melo
away from the
talks.
2-yard line back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the
But
Knicks are doing.
you said it too. Also, Seattle messed up at the half-yard line.
Yeah, exactly. So, but Melo doesn't have to do. You see what James Harden is doing? Melo doesn't have to do that.
And we do have a caller. Caller, you're on Sports Talk.
How you doing, Richie from Shirley? How you
Hey,
doing?
Richie, how are you?
Good. How's everything?
Everything's
Good.
Okay. Now, how do we sign Tim Hardaway for $71 million? Is this another joke?
Yeah, I thought it was a joke too until I saw that ESPN reported it, and I said, "Wow,
What a joke!"
Yeah,
They have a new. They signed this guy to $71 million. The president is not there. The coach is not there. The general manager is not there. So what is this? Some kind of joke they're doing now? Wow, really? It's coming to the point where I know people are really getting fed up now with this team.
yeah."
Really,
But
it's beyond hope.
that makes you think like when the Knicks got rid of Hardaway in the first place, obviously they didn't want to get rid of him. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was something. At one point, we was hearing rumors about Hardaway and Melo not getting together. But the fact that the Knicks threw that money at him, that showed. Remember, he was the Knicks' first-round pick.
Right.
That shows that they probably really liked him, and then for whatever reason, they didn't want to get rid of him. Maybe it was a Phil Jackson move that made Hardaway leave. We don't know, and maybe the Knicks always wanted Hardaway to be there.
Yes.
That's too much money for what he has produced so far, but it just shows me that for some reason they see something in him, they drafted him first overall, and they decided they wanted him real bad.
What kind of press conference was that, too?
I don't know, but something about they like him and they want him back. That
Well, you know what? Why didn't they fire Phil Jackson before the draft? That's mind-boggling.
Dolan.
yeah, but
Dolan, yeah.
Hey, somebody said something today, and I kind of thought about it.
Yeah.
Maybe they wasn't intending on firing Phil until Phil started having trade talks about Porzingis. I think that's what pushed him.
I don't think that was the tipping point. I think the tipping point was the fact that they were going to buy out Melo.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think it was the
This
Melo
kid Frankie's
buyout
gonna-
stuff.
This kid Frankie's going to start now. He's going to start 18 years old in the NBA.
No, Ron Baker.
No, don't say that, Mark. Don't jinx us.
That's my twin.
but he might as well. He might listen. If I understand that was Phil Jackson's move,
Right.
but if you're gonna pick up this kid, and him and Porzingis is supposed to be, and I say that with quotes. I know Porzingis, but he's supposed to be the future. You want him to start because what are you doing by? I understand it would be good to have a veteran in there starting and he learned, but no. Sometimes we know the Knicks are going to be bad. So why, just like the Jets and stuff, if you know your team is going to be bad, you want to see what you have with your young talent. We know the Knicks are going to be bad. So he's our first round pick. You look up all the people who they gave up on that was in the draft that everybody felt the Knicks should draft. He definitely need to start because all the people that everybody felt the Knicks should have got, they're going to be starting once opening tip-off starts. So he should be starting too. What is he? The seventh overall pick. Him and Porzingis, and then show that even though it might not be pretty at first, we understand they're young. Show us what we might get in the future with these picks.
You can't win. You don't want to stay in the middle. You don't want to get that bad draft pick again because you know you're not winning the championship.
Exactly. And honestly, with the Knicks, we never have anything in the middle. It's either a hit or a miss. Let's just be honest.
You don't want that 7th or 8th seed. That fake playoff run.
Oh no, of course not. But this is what I'm saying. But has the Knicks when these draft picks, it's either a hit or a miss.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know what? There's only 1.5 million left in the cap space. That's it. That's all they have.
Yeah, but but I didn't expect the Knicks to do anything this season.
Yeah.
This season anyway, So like free agency wise, or I thought we was gonna pick up somebody. I thought we was gonna get Dennis Smith from North Carolina State. That's what I thought the Knicks were actually gonna pick up, but we didn't. But no, we need to see this kid. He's our first round pick. Don't hide him. There's nothing to hide. It's basketball. We know you're going to turn the ball over. We know you're going to miss shots. You're a rookie. You're going to make mistakes. We don't expect you to come in and be the rookie of the year. We feel like there's a bunch of rookies out there that's better than you. But come and let's see your potential and let's see what we might get in the future when your game is polished.
What's the latest on Carmelo Anthony?
They
Mark,
paused the talks between the
Rockets and Cavs for some
They
reason.
postponed it.
Yeah, they
talks.
paused. They stopped it. They
For
paused it.
unknown reasons.
But the thing is though, because it was clear that Carmelo just couldn't get traded rightfully to the Rockets because of how much money is involved in picks and all of that. It would have to be a 4-team trade.
They said 3 or 4 teams.
3 or 4 team trade. So, maybe the Knicks don't feel comfortable yet about what they will be receiving.
But you probably know if they buy him out, they owe him $24 million, right? If they buy him out, okay?
Yeah.
Now, will the Knicks get that $24 million back on their cap space or no?
If they buy him out,
No,
the Knicks don't get it back.
No.
They don't get it back.
And the thing is, Dolan is actually being smart. He doesn't want to buy him out. He wants something back for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're looking at it as like, okay, Melo wants to leave and stuff, but as a Knicks fan, you don't want Melo to walk out the door without getting something back for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the should be the priority right now. I understand Melo wants to leave, and that's fine. We understand that, but get something back for him, and not leave us out to dry.
Here's the thing, though. Are you on Melo's side? You feel bad for Melo?
I mean, look, I
because
feel
he wasn't traded like that before.
No, I get it. No, but I feel bad for every player who commits to something and they can't follow through. Like, for example, let's say Russell Westbrook were to stay and OKC and never win, and all of us see how hard Russell Westbrook plays. Just like Allen Iverson. I know a lot of people feel bad that Allen Iverson don't have a championship. You want certain players to have it. Melo, he might not be the best teammate, but one thing we can say, Melo, maybe not in the defensive end, but Melo has not always been a defensive, that type of guy. But Melo comes and compete, especially offensively. He's a competitor. He's always been one of the top 10 basketball players in the league, even though we're watching him.
And I gotta say too, he always plays hard too. You know what I'm saying?
He always does.
Yeah.
He always tries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of times because of his team, he's outmatched, but we're going to get the same numbers despite the shooting percentage, whatever, from Melo day in and day out. Melo's my favorite player. It's obviously just bad to see him go, but I'd rather see Melo go chase a championship. We just watched Durant do it, and Durant didn't have to leave.
That's what everyone's doing, though.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Durant didn't have to leave.
You're that great of a player.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, you're down. You're up 3-1 against the Warriors. Don't tell me that he had to leave. You know what I mean? He didn't have to. You're up 3-1 against this Warriors team that was so fantastic.
Right.
So he didn't have to leave, and say OKC didn't have enough yet. OKC was one more decent player away from legit competing against Cleveland.
They were like a spot up shooter away.
Exactly, like a good shooter away. They didn't need like James Harden back or nothing like that. No, that's too much. You just needed like one, like not the Kyle Korver we just seen, but for example, say the Kyle Korver in Atlanta or something like that. There was like that type of piece away from a legit championship team, and then he left Westbrook out to dry.
So when are the Knicks going to get rid of their coach now? When are they going to get rid of this guy, right?
I see the Knicks are losing too much money.
They don't know who's in charge.
That's what I'm saying. I feel bad because the Knicks are losing too much money, and you know that you would just have to guess that they want to get rid of him. But I don't think the Knicks are going to do it just for the fact because of the money reasons.
Yeah.
There's too much money that
they're
paying.
Like the last 5 coaches.
The last 5 coaches, Phil Jackson just got out. They got to buy him out. And if they buy out Melo, that's another $24 million. The Knicks are in too much of a financial problem to just get rid of that coach right now. They're going to just have to ride it out.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, Richie.
All right, take care, guys. Bye. Goodbye.
That was Richie from Shirley. If you got something in your mind, feel free to call. The number is 516-572-7440. Always like to hear from Richie. Hopefully Dave will call in later, too. Dave's always got something funny to say. And so, did anyone watch the Espys last night? Did anyone watch the Espys?
I only saw like the Kevin
Durant's face, yeah.
So basically it was just... So I was just checking out the ratings for the Espys. They're actually down from last year. So is that a shock by any means? I mean, does anyone really care anymore?
Peyton Manning did good. You guys listen.
I don't really care for like award shows.
But of course, all I was waiting for him was to address the whole Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook situation. Anytime something comes up with sports, there's a comedian involved or somebody trying to be funny, just address that situation. I want to hear. And then his joke was great. First he stated that the Olympic team has been so dominant that Kevin Durant told him that he's going to join them this year. You know what I mean? So everybody saw Kevin Durant's face. How serious it
Who's he going to join?
Huh? He said that the women's Olympic gymnastics team was so dominant that he heard that Kevin Durant was going to join them next year. Kevin Durant was saying, man, and then he said, I don't think that you would even start on that team. And then he said, what you think about that, Russell Westbrook? And he showed Russell Westbrook's face. And Westbrook got his serious face, but he's holding it, covering his mouth. That you want that. You know what I mean? Because
But I also saw what Julian Edelman did.
Hey,
wait. What the Elderman do? I didn't see that.
He had an award, right?
Yeah.
He was like, "Oh, Peyton Manning, he's doing a really good job."
Yeah.
He said, "But I forgot we're indoors."
Oh.